Passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good morning. Bopping along to a happy little ditty because it's Friday, folks, here at 7:03. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Now. Got to get you out the door on this Friday, kicking off our weekend. It's been a stunning start temperature-wise, and just wait till you see what's behind Steve. A great big ball of fire to kick off our Friday. Look at that.
Is Jerry Lee Lewis back here?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, no, look, beautiful start on this Friday. Gorgeous day ahead and a good-looking weekend as well. So get outside and enjoy the weather. There is that great big ball of fire right now. Sky 9 view brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Not a cloud to be found outside. We are dealing with a little bit of fog, mostly down along the coast. Patterson, a quarter mile. Last hour, new roads had dropped below 2 miles, back up at 5 miles. So the vast majority of us doing just fine. Temperature-wise, we've got a pretty big range, anywhere from the mid-40s to as warm as the low 60s in New Orleans. 55 Baton Rouge, Gonzales, Patterson right now. Macomb, the cool spot, checking in at 44. It'll be a warm day, though, area-wide as temperatures climb pretty quickly. Mid-70s at noon, going low 80s with highs. Sunshine throughout the day, so it is going to be a beautiful Friday. We are, though, giving you a first alert to a changing pattern next week, a more active pattern as we get into next week. Now, the good news is we should get through the weekend mainly dry. Today and tomorrow, definitely dry. It's just a slim chance of showers on Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, some scattered rains. Not great news for eclipse viewing on Monday, but right now kind of targeting Wednesday into early Thursday as the main impacts. New this morning, the Storm Prediction Center has already posted a 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather for next Wednesday. It's down the road a little bit, but giving you that early heads up, and that's the entire state of Louisiana, most of Mississippi, some other surrounding states involved in that also. On top of that, there could be some locally heavy rainfall next week, especially Wednesday into early Thursday, where you see that shade of red. As the Weather Prediction Center forecasting more than 5 inches of rain over the next 7 days. Now, in our part of the world, they're going roughly 2 to up to 5 inches on average. Heavier totals near north of the interstates, a little bit less south of I-10, but ultimately it looks like pretty good soaking on the way. Right now, dry air in place. That'll stay there through most of the weekend. We do see a storm system spinning right over San Francisco this morning. That one's actually going to pivot to the north. It'll be followed by another that will actually lead to our more active pattern next week. But the news is largely good for any outdoor plans you might have this weekend. It will get a little warmer, more humid, and some clouds start to move in tomorrow and especially Sunday, but mainly dry. Now, Monday for the eclipse, even if we're not dealing with rain, still looks like a good deal of cloud cover, so not a great outlook. That's not to say there's zero chance to be able to see it, but right now not looking great. But there you see it. First alert Wednesday, could be some strong storms, some locally heavy rain. Those rains should get out here early Thursday, and right now, the early outlook suggests the following weekend looking pretty good. 7:06 now with a check on your Friday morning drive. Here's John.
Thank you, Dr. Caparata. Good morning, everybody. We do have still that one wreck on the board. It's over here on Choctaw near Monterey. See some traffic on Monterey, but this is not really associated, I don't believe, with that wreck, although we do see some traffic on Choctaw between Monterey and the Oakville Boulevard intersection, Oakville Jewel, and that intersection. But so far, we have not seen anything serious about that traffic backup. Just a little tap into the brakes in that area. Be careful. But look at the interstate. This is I-12 going toward the Baton Rouge area out of Denham. I-12 at Jujubin Crossing. This is looking back toward Range. Very light traffic on 12 coming out of the Denham Springs area into Baton Rouge, and from the 1012 to College. Very nice spacing. Spacing's tightened up just a little bit at the base of the bridge in Baton Rouge coming in from Port Allen. All in all, not a bad morning drive. It's 55 degrees, Double Nickels, 7:07. Liz Coe with some morning headlines you may have missed right here on our WAFB 9 News Now. You're watching us on WAFB Plus. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back at 7:08. We sent you a push alert earlier this morning about some breaking news we're following out of East Feliciana Parish. Again, started the morning with that, and we're continuing to follow the story. The East Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office says a man is dead after leading deputies on a chase through the woods. This is at a home near Highway 68. According to Sheriff Jeff Travis, deputies were called out to a domestic disturbance off a home there. Well, when they got to the scene, the suspect ran into the woods behind the home. They requested assistance from a canine chase team and started to track that suspect. Well, we're told the team was met with gunfire during the chase, and then members of that team returned fire. Louisiana State Police are investigating the shooting and the situation here. As we get new updates and information, we're going to update you through the 9 News app. Got a heads up about some drills that are happening today. East Baton Rouge Parish EMS and Baton Rouge General are teaming up for an emergency learning exercise here to better help patients as they have a heart attack. This is actually happening at the Baton Rouge General Bluebonnet campus at 1 this afternoon. So if you happen to see a lot of movement between EMS in there, just know that part of that is a training exercise. They're trying to make sure that they give you the best possible care and let you know about it. In the meantime, another hospital system trying to keep patients safe, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, adding some new security measures. About a week after a woman was arrested on charges of attempted kidnapping. This after gaining access to a patient's room about several times. So they say that they're actually changing how many patient guests that you get per day. In fact, a patient gets 4 guests per day, and then each day you're there, you have to update that guest list. Now, they've already implemented some of these policies, and they say that if you do not have a visitor's badge, which you get as soon as you walk in those doors, well, they're not going to let you into any of those areas, and security will stop you. They're already hearing some grief about these changes, but again, the policy, these measures are put in place to keep patients and their families safe. I've got to get you to Baltimore, where President Joe Biden is expected to visit with the family members of the victims of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. He's also expected to visit the site there, where crews are still trying to work to clear that wreckage. The problem they're having this week, well, because the conditions are so murky underwater, dive crews are having trouble kind of getting a clear understanding of where everything is. Now, that not only impacting the economy. Last year, they did $80 billion worth of international port traffic and economic traffic there, but they're still trying to work to clear that debris to make sure they have that access to the Port of Baltimore. We're going to stay updated on that as the president visits the Port of Baltimore and those families there. Got to get you back into South Louisiana for some updates. There's going to be an event called Late Night Hype. Breck is hosting tonight from 7 to 11 o'clock. There you see it. It's happening at Gus Young Avenue Park, where they're going to tip off a basketball game tournament, food, they're going to have giveaways and more. This is actually part of a series that's going to happen every 2nd and 4th Friday of the month. They're teaming up with a number of local city entities to make sure that families and you have something to do on a Friday night, so take advantage of it. 7 p.m. at Gus Young Avenue Park. Then SULC, the Southern University Law Center, they're hosting a civil rights symposium. The goal here, it's to better the community, and they're going to kind of chart that path forward for you to help out. If you're interested, head on over to the Valdry Center for Philanthropy on Harding Boulevard. That kicks off at 11 a.m. and they sure would love for you to engage in that discussion. They're going to have a number of distinguished guest speakers for you to get involved in the process, and it's a really good opportunity to ask them important questions about how to get that started in your neighborhood or your community too. Let's also get you a look at what's happening here. Rock the Country Fest is coming this weekend at Gonzales. You're looking at our web story with all of the details and information about parking, and look at that poster and that lineup. Kid Rock, Jason Aldean inviting some of their friends like Miranda Lambert and Hank Williams Jr. We hear Leonard Skinner also is coming to town. Happening all weekend here in Ascension Parish, and that is actually one of the biggest music festivals to ever come to Ascension Parish. Keep in mind, traffic will be busy around Lamar Dixon this weekend. They have specific parking areas. We're getting an email about that, so we can keep you informed about it. They've got specific areas where you can park around that area, and all of Lamar Dixon, parts of it are actually being used for different events. So be mindful and pay attention to those signs as you make your way there off the interstate and make your way there. They're going to open their doors at noon today, and they're going to open the doors to some of the performances at 3 o'clock. Then big names taking the stage at 4 o'clock today. You know what's interesting, y'all, is that they chose Gonzales, Louisiana, out of all the cities in the United States. Gonzales is one of them as a part of this multi-stop tour.
That is awesome, and Lamar Dixon's such a perfect venue for that.
Yeah,
they sure are.
Really is.
Big area, big
So are we
parking.
making too big of a deal about this eclipse thing? I mean, when I spent the summer on Nimbus 3 many years ago, that happened almost monthly with the 2 moons there.
Are you still in orbit right now?
Every day.
So look, We had an eclipse 2017 where we get to see totality locally, and it was cool. Everything you hear is the difference between totality and even like 95% is just an incredible difference. So the issue regardless is, looks like good deal of cloud cover here locally and across much of the deep south. I know people are headed more like towards San Antonio, Austin, Dallas.
Yeah.
Clouds look like an issue that way. Right now looks like you may have to go a decent ways north to get out of the cloud cover.
Is that common to chase an eclipse like that?
I think when it's this rare, it seems like it.
Yeah, and I think in the days of social media, there's a level of hype that hasn't really happened before. It's another, and what is it, 2040, I think?
2045,
yeah. So.
Okay.
I'll wait on that one.
Yeah. That's right.
Because when I was on Nimbus 3.
Oh, man. Waking up, just head in the clouds. I think all of us are.
I love being up
Listen,
there.
little sleep, but y'all make it fun. Bring us along next time.
You have been a rock star with Matt out, and I think he's going to be out Monday.
Could not do that with any of you.
Holy
Could not
cow.
do that with any of you, and the folks behind the scenes working hard to make sure you stay covered on top of all the things. Steve did a great outlook for the 2024 hurricane season, kind of explaining how this year's different.
Yeah, looking potentially very active. What we don't know is where the numbers, where they'll end up.
Okay, well, stay with us. We're going to talk more about it. Still have a couple more hours of programming for you here. We'll see you in about 10 minutes for a check of weather.
If you're looking for the perfect companion for family fun and adventure, or wanting to find adventure beyond the ordinary, experience all that the Toyota Tundra has to offer. Save on your new Tundra right now at Team Toyota, I-12 and O'Neill.